Hi, on this lesson we are going to talk about log analytics connected sources. So what those connected sources are. So the connected sources is the service or the machines from which the data is collected. You can collect data from SCOM, Service Center Operation Manager. You can collect the agent from Windows agents, collect it from Linux agents. You can use the REST API or from cloud service like Office 365, or even collect data directly from a bunch of Azure services. So for that you need a workspace, like I previously talked about, and the workspace is going to have configured one or more connected sources, and from that data you can monitor it and you can create alerts and do searches. Where can data be collected from? So the data can be collected from Windows machines, from Linux machines, from Azure services, or from other sources that send data directly to log analytics, or for connectors that exist also in log analytics. This is how the data is collected. I'm showing here on top right the architecture for a Linux machine. All the data is sent by applications to syslog. The OMS agent reads that information from syslog, or read information from Apache, or read information from MySQL or for Docker, and sends that information through the OMS service. If you have a Windows machine, there is also an agent that you can install that collects information from event logs, from the performance counters, or from IIS logs, and sends that information to OMS. You can also send information from Azure services, and that doesn't require any agent. We'll see later on how that information is sent from the Azure service itself. To send the information, either the agents connect directly to the internet and send information to OMS service, or they can be configured to send the information through OMS gateway, which requires access to the internet, or you can use SCOM in order to send information via the SCOM agent. So these are the ways that you can configure your agents. Either they are in the cloud or they are running on premise, and you can have a mix of both. You are not limited to have one or the other. You can have both, and they all send information to OMS service via these mechanisms. In order to collect information from Windows machines, we need to install an agent, and we need to configure the data sources that we need to collect. So each connected source can have as many a number of data sources, and those data sources define the type of information that is sent. So in Windows you can send event logs, performance counters, or IIS logs. On Linux you can also use it with just an installation of an agent on your machines, and it can support several data sources. So it can support performance metrics, it can support syslog events, it can support Docker, MySQL, it can support Apache or custom logs. For example, it can ingest your own data log files, and it can also ingest alerts from Nagios and Zabbix. And the third way of sending information to OMS is from Azure Service Resources. If you are using a VM, you can install the agent automatically just using an extension. You don't have to log into the machine to do it manually. But other type of resources are agentless. They don't require any kind of agent, since you cannot install anything on them. On the cases that you are using an agentless data collection, there are 4 ways of collecting this information, and those depends on the type of resources from which we are collecting information. We can configure the resource to send Azure Diagnostics to send data directly to log analytics in case the resource supports it, or we can configure it to send diagnostics to the storage, to Azure storage, and then the logs will be collected from there into OMS. There are some connectors for Azure services that you can install on OMS to collect information from services itself. For example, on the labs, you will see how you can install the Application Insights connector to get information from Application Insights into Log Analytics. And you can also have custom solutions that will be something that you have to do on your own that collects the data and sends it to Log Analytics using the API. The number of the data sources that are used on this kind of resources varies according to the resource itself.